Welcome back to another instalment of the TR7 V8. First thing today, I know it's been a little while. I've done an update, just a few cosmetic updates. I put on a door reflector here. I've lost the other side, but these corner pieces here, I added these in. You can buy these off the Triumph Specialists. The aftermarket ones, but they do save you being stabbed by the corner of the door. These are on my 7, and just little details like that. Car's running great. As you see, I've replaced the rear springs on the car, and she's sitting quite higher than what she was before. I'll probably put in a little insert so you can see. There's more gap between the wheel arch and the wheel at the rear, and I think she's sitting quite nicely there. And the colour has grown on me, I must admit. It's quite nice in the bright sunshine. It's a bit windy today, and here are the two old springs. You can see where how they're offset slightly. So this is technically the performance bit, and this is where it sits and compresses, so she will sit lower. And I'm not going to sell these. If anybody wants these, they're more than welcome to them. I'm not going to clean them up or anything, but just for the price of postage. I think they're, I would say, £200 springs, but if you laid the original springs next to these, they're the same height. So but the pitch on these springs are equal all the way down, and I've got to say she does ride and drive better. It's almost like I'm detuning the car from the high performance, but I don't really need it on the road. She still rattles and squeals. I've still yet to do the steering bush through the bulkhead. Roof's in nice condition. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but she will. You get that through the steering, so obviously a bush is worn or whatever there. Also, I did have another fault with the electrics. The wiring inside the radio compartment is something to be desired. I've got the radio out at the moment, and just so I can listen to the car and all its nuances. And I have this screen here, which is rather nice. It should come on. There we are. It's going to boot up now, and you can get the Apple CarPlay with it, and it's pretty good actually. And you get the maps on it. So if I press CarPlay, I've got my is my phone in here? No, it's not. Anyway, but that's quite handy. Saves you having to put your phone on a holder and you play your music and stream whatever in Spotify. You know how it goes. But the fault I had on this car was that I'd lost the power to the cigarette lighter. Now, anybody that knows the 7s, you can actually have the cigar lighter running without any key in the ignition. And there's a few other electrical items also that has the ability to function for safety when there's no key in the ignition. And one of them is the cigar lighter. The hazard lights, you can still operate the lights as well. You can still pull back on the stalk and get the lights to come up. You can get all the lights on. Also, the boot light works as well, believe it or not. It's a bit windy, as I said today. So I'd lost, and if you look at the circuit diagram, this is a 1981. So I was looking at the diagrams for the 1980 and the 81, and basically the rudimentary wiring for those auxiliaries were exactly the same, for want of a better word. They just laid them out differently in the diagrams. But from the positive terminal of the battery there's a brown wire which comes down, which gets converted to a purple after the fuse. Now the fuse in the Haynes manual doesn't show what value it is or what the ID for the fuse is. I can show you that, but in the workshop manual it actually states it's a 50 amp fuse. Now the 50 amp fuse is the second fuse in top right. That's a 50 amp fuse. So that fuse was fine. So I'm thinking, why have I lost the 12 volts? And bearing in mind that this has got to be on even without the key in the car, I should be able to get the cigar lighter, the hazards, the boot light, and I checked inside there, I was getting no 12 volts to the cigar lighter, hence no hazards, nothing. And so I thought, right, okay, so I'm going to have to start. I think I took the top of the dash off and have a look at that and whatever, took the dash out. I did change the speeder cable as well, because the plastic connection going into the back of the dash was, you know, the plastic thing had gone, the grip to catch the thing, so it kept popping. No biggie, it was easy replacement. I'm not saying that. As you get to the underside of the gearbox, that was a job and a half just to get that in, because the gearbox mounting plate's in the way. It's just big enough to get around the side, but anyway, it's doable. The car jack safely. So bearing in mind that the battery is in the boot there and it's running off, that means it's got to have its permanent supply stem from here somewhere at the front of the car. What I did find was that in my however this happened, there's a little wire coming out here which has got joined to it a purple and brown, which is running all the way across, and there was a spade terminal inside some heat shrink, and that had actually come apart. So you can imagine the sort of thoughts I had in my head regarding that being lower, and the cable, the red cable that's popping out of here, I don't think you can see that very well, is not rated, certainly not for 50 amps. So that'll need to be looked at, and it's probably been run under the carpet somewhere. So the very fact that I know it's there now, and I'm not running everything at the same time, so I'm certainly not drawing 50 amps. But the annoying thing is, when I put everything back together again, as you will see, the clock is still running, which is nice. Now, when I put everything back together again, the clock wasn't running. That's another thing which continues to run, which is on the same circuit as the purple wires. So there's a purple wire going into the smaller center connection on the back of the dash, which didn't have the 12 volts, which said to me that's why the clock's not working. Everything else, when you turn the key, the temperature gauge, the fuel and the voltmeter were all working, but just that auxiliary 12 volts was not there because of that blade terminal that was disconnected inside some heat shrink. But the clock, I thought, oh dear, and when I looked at it, because when I had the dash off and the facer off, I somehow inadvertently pushed the second hand in front of the minute hand, so she was wedged. So I had to take all of it off again, just to manipulate slightly out the second hand so she'd turn. And thankfully nothing's too stressed with inside it, so she's still working. And is it? It says it's 12:30 there. Yeah, it was 12:30, yes, absolutely. It's about half a minute slow. So that's been running for, what, a good sort of 36 hours, I guess. Yeah. What else? The springs. Oh, yes, the door lights also are on that. Let's take the key out, you see. Take the key out. There's the key, and the door lights still work because they're on the same voltage. I didn't get the door lights to work either. So door lights, hazard lights, cigar lighter, boot light. What else did I say? Other parts, and you can see that, you can work it out from the diagram that what should be connected, and it's all driven through that 50 amp fuse, which was fine. So it looked as if the fuse had gone, but it hadn't. It was that connection down there. I also adjusted the glove box, because when you open this catch, it should come down easily. You had to really force it down, and the hinges needed realigning, so she shuts nicely and it's easy to turn and open. And what you see sometimes is this is the orientation of the rubber that's supposed to be square inside this orifice. You see them diagonal sometimes, where, you know, that's not right. So anyway, just that little bit of a footnote. Apart from that, the car runs quite sweetly, and it was a bit cooler this morning, and when I got in it and started up, she really just wanted to take off. It was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's a good thing. And so what I've got coming, the new bushing for the steering through the bulkhead, and going to change the rocker cover gaskets. Oh, that is windy. So I must admit, the red does pop when it's nice and sunny, and the colour is growing on me, I must admit. And I still really do like that front bumper. It just makes the car look a lot better than with the plastic. Now my 7, I'm down in the storage unit, and managed to get 2 more lifts in here a few weeks ago. There's my 7. I don't like it cooped up under there, because I like to be able to change the car at will. So you have to move all these cars to get out the 7. The 7's fine, and you see how that's sitting. That's, you know, it's had no upgrades apart from being refreshed. Oh yeah, I did put the blue polybush in the trailing arms. But I love the way this car handles and drives. It's just a wonderful drive. And I need to get the 8 to a level that I look forward to getting in it, because I think it's still a harsher ride with those, the polybush, and especially with that steering column. It's just rattles and bangs. And there's the other lift. These lifts are slightly different. They're still Lift Giants, and they're good service from those people. But these have a mechanical release mechanism, as the original ones are put in. These have an electronic release, which has a solenoid on 4 points to allow the lift to come down. These are mechanical. They had some of these in stock, whereas this type with the electronic release, there was a 12-week lead time, and I needed to get 2 in as soon as, for capacity issues. So that's where we are, and that's a lovely Proteus C-Type there. Yeah, and quite a nice special car this one is here too. It's Ginetta Spider, and yeah, little racing mini that's going to be made road legal. Been signed as well by, is that Todd or Terry, somebody? Yeah. So it has racing history, this car, this mini. Yeah. And this Porsche Boxster, it's a 3.2, I think. It's had a nice, decent respray recently, but just needs finishing off, some finishing touches done. And yeah, so pretty much full here. Happy days. Okay, so I might slip in, like I said, a few photographs of the TR7 V8, how she looked when she was on the performance springs there. still like the shape of this car. And I must say, the red really has grown on me. Okay, with that, I shall leave it there. Hope everyone's alright. And yeah, please like and subscribe. More TR7 issues coming up, I'm sure. Thanks for watching. Bye now.